Welcome, ladies and gerbs. I forgot to mention that I'm getting my whip greased. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be talking to you from a parking lot somewhere in front of a bunch of shockingly expensive cars. Anyway, I didn't have a chance to meet myself. There we go. D, go for it. Do that thing.
What's going on, everybody? This show is for educational and entertainment purposes only. You have to be 21 and more to be here. If not, you have to leave. Back to you, Freemador. Uh-oh.
Thank you, D. Let me painstakingly try to copy this. There's got to be a better way, but I just used my notes app, and it's always a challenge to copy these Zoom links. Anyway, ladies and gerbils. Anyway, I think that's what I was actually trying to say. Welcome to the show. Let me post this link here. This is High Noon. You guys are welcome to come join us. We don't have a guest or anything, so you're more than welcome to join the conversation. In fact, that would be quite helpful because, like I said, I am getting my car serviced, and I forgot about that. Don't know why I forgot, but I just forgot, honestly, to tell everybody. So, unless you don't want to have a show, which is, of course, fine too, hop on, ladies and gentlemen, because I can't really talk here. I can't really hear you. I forgot to bring my headphones even. So that was kind of dumb of me, but what can I tell you? Bonjour, Christophe. Hey, cheers, Flora. Good to see you. Dee was just saying that you were asking. J5's in the house. What's going on, J5? Mr. Benjula is in the house already as well. Welcome, everybody. Love for the plants here. What's going on, Love for the plant? Cheers, buddy. Love for the plant. I think you would enjoy yesterday's chat with Pedro's Grow Room. I think a buddy of yours, at least I know you've met him. I think it was a really interesting chat with him. Oh, by the way, I actually just made an hour ago, maybe an hour and a half ago, I posted the podcast version of the show where I try to clean up the audio a little bit. It's a little bit challenging, I have to be honest, and I didn't have time to adjust all the levels for everybody because unfortunately Pedro was a little quiet. So if you guys do listen to the show on the podcast, what can I tell you? My apologies. I think that's what the feed was coming in yesterday, and I guess I didn't notice it because my headphones were up or something. I don't know. Anyway, my apologies if it's a little bit too quiet. I think it's fine. I think it's totally audible, but my voice is definitely louder than Pedro's, which is annoying. But anyway, take a look, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, the podcast is Chronic Table at your favorite podcasting platform. Generally speaking, almost every month, the most listens we get are from Apple Podcasts. Google Podcasts has apparently shut down. So I used to talk about Google Podcasts, but apparently they are no more. So I guess we're not going to talk about, like, what's the no, that way I was just about, fuck, what's the funeral dirge? I can't think of it right now. Anyway, everybody you think about funeral noises for Google Podcasts. Anyway, wherever you guys listen to podcasts, go subscribe to Chronic Table and listen in. There we go. Thank you, Dean. In the meantime, though, welcome everybody. Welcome everyone in the chat. I posted but did not pin the link. Let me try to actually. Oh, it's because I'm not logged into the right account or whatever. All right, so now I got to mute myself and hand it over to D. Go for it, buddy.
Okay, good. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the safety meeting. This is the safety meeting. Cheers, everybody in chat. Hope everyone's having a great day. Yeah, your picture was coming on after at the end there, Phoebe. But anyways, cheers, everybody watching. Cheers, all you lurkers in the background, smoking a joint, doing some gardening, smoking a bong, maybe hitting the dab rig. I'm smoking on Girl Scout cookies. I got some Tokyo OG, and for bedtime, well, not obviously not now. Some Bio Jesus or Bio Jesus, depending where you live. If you live in Mexico, it might be Jesus. Hope everyone's having a great day. Cheers, Captain 420. Cheers, pardon the dank. Cheers. Who else is here? Love for the plants. Don't forget live chat, top chat for your better chatting experience. Back to you, Freemador.
Cheers, D. Yeah, I guess I don't have much to talk about. Just getting my car work done before I was already supposed to be going out to California, but it's just been one day after another. Whatever. I guess I just have to do it. I guess it's a nice thing because it's been nice to work on the garden a little bit because while I'm gone, a caretaker is going to be watering, and you know how stressful that can be. So last time that happened, there was a little bit of a die off. So I hope we can not repeat that scenario again this time. Anyway,
Yeah.
also, I'm not going to be gone, hopefully, for freaking 5 weeks in a foreign country during a war. I might add.
Yeah.
That was some shit. Anyway, whatever. Cheers, Captain 420. What's going on, buddy?
Was he here? Oh, right on.
Are you there?
You're muted,
Yeah,
Captain.
yeah, yeah, I've been muted. Just another hot night here in Thailand.
Lucky dog.
I finally got to turn the fan off.
Right on.
Yeah, I mean, the lucky dog at 104, man.
Yo, I like that. I
So,
like
are you just sticking around Thailand for the foreseeable future, or what's going on, Captain? I thought you were leaving.
Well, I've ran into a little problem trying to switch over the titles to my truck and my bike. It seems like if you don't update your green book every year, that after 2 years, uh, you kind of lose the green book and the title to your vehicle,
Oh
No shit.
shit.
or at
Oh
least
wow.
the registration of it.
Hmm.
So I have to go figure out how to get all this straightened out. And no one at the Bureau speaks any type of English.
Oh
So I
god.
have to get a
Well, it is Thailand.
translator and then go there and have a translator try to translate it over and then try to translate a bribe over
Hmm.
because it's going to take a bribe to get everything situated. So it's going to
Yeah.
cost me $200 to be able to get back 6,000.
Hmm.
But it's also costing me $15 a day to stay here
That's not that bad.
because I'm on an overstay.
Oh, it's like a $15 fine.
Yeah, it's a $15 day fine,
Oh,
500 baht.
huh. And
Well, they're gonna
you can't
th-
just go to Cambodia and come back for the day. That wouldn't reset any of that.
no, because I had trouble getting in from Cambodia 2 months ago.
Oh.
And actually a month ago, because they said you can't go for an extension. You have to leave the country. You have been here. The laws changed in March. When the laws change, it makes it where I can only spend up to 1 or 6 calendar months in Thailand at a time before I have to leave for a period of 60 to 90 days.
Hmm. And you
And the
said, I
ladies
think I
and the
asked you about
ladies
the.
telling me that, you're old enough, just go on a retirement visa. And
Hmm.
I said to her, if I go on a retirement visa, I can't volunteer to help. And I'm disabled, so I volunteer my time. I can't volunteer to help teach kids to speak English or English conversation. I can't own a business or a restaurant or a bar or anything.
You can't
You
even
are
volunteer? That
retired.
seems kind of bizarre that a retiree couldn't volunteer.
Exactly.
Huh. Well,
They want you here to be able to just do nothing. Make sure you pay them, but do nothing in their country.
huh.
When I heard that I couldn't volunteer, that's when it was like, why wouldn't you let us volunteer our time? Especially if we're willing to teach children English conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, that's crazy.
and I am smoking table scraps. Whatever was on the table, that's what we're smoking.
Right on. I'm about to smoke some. Oh yeah, wait. Tokyo OG, real gassy.
I'd really like to spend a couple days in Tokyo.
I got Mrs. D. She must have smelt the bag being opened. You smell the bag being opened, Mrs. D?
Yeah, I was my
I
goodness.
think if they give me the option, I'll go back to Amsterdam and take a 18-hour layover again.
Dude, Dad, we were talking about that the other day. That'd be dope. Or
Yeah, but
yesterday.
Amsterdam ain't what it was. Not for me. I guess that's because I was there in the 90s. I was
Yeah,
there in the early 2000s before everything changed. And then the United States ended up taking my passport away because I owed $500 on back child support. $500 on back child support, and they took my passport.
I gotta find it. That's crazy, Cap. Hmm.
Yeah, especially when you got people out there that owe 20, 30, $40,000 and nothing happens to them.
Yeah.
Well, you can't leave the country. Well,
Mm.
maybe that was my way of making money.
Yeah. We're not coming back. What the hell's he doing?
Well, see, that really doesn't matter because I was workers' comp, so my money was guaranteed through the government.
True.
And
Right.
the government actually, the state of Ohio cost me to get 3 driving under suspension tickets because they
Yeah.
suspend your driver's license, but don't tell you that they suspended it. So you get end up getting pulled over and oh, your license got suspended because of child support.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
And then your car gets impounded
Hmm.
and it costs you more money. And it's like, if my child support isn't paid, then I'm not getting paid by the state of Ohio because my child support gets paid before I get a check.
Yeah.
My daughter's mother actually got my check, my money from my check 2 to 3 days before I would get it. So there were times that I had to call my daughter's mother to see if she got paid, to see if I was getting paid.
Cheers, Jack Beanstalk. I'm always looking. Yeah, I'd be always looking for an extended layover in Amsterdam too if I had the chance. Why not? Go hang out in the coffee shops.
Well, the last time I was there, I only hit one coffee shop.
Oh, really?
Well, I don't have to go any farther than the calls. They have 3 to 4 good flowers, and they usually have 3 or 4 really good hashes.
Hmm.
And the hotel that I like is literally 150 meters from their front door.
Yeah.
And everything is close to the train station. Sounds like someone needs a drink of water there.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So yeah, basically I just stay at one coffee shop because to get to the Katsu, that's a good 30 minutes each way. And when you're talking, you only have, a few hour layover.
Well, yeah, if you only it's only a few hours, but if it was like a day or something different.
Yeah, they don't give you a day. They give you, between 6 and like 13 hours. I just happened to get lucky with the last one and it happened to be 18 hours.
That's awesome.
But, for 6 or 7 of those hours, you're sleeping.
Yeah.
And then you have to be at the airport. And there you have to be there kind of early. And you have to take a train to the airport unless you want to spend mega bucks on a taxi.
Yeah, it's
And,
crazier.
and the train is actually quicker.
Hmm.
Unless one time leaving Amsterdam, our train would not go over 10 kilometers an hour.
Wow.
But what made it nice
Uh,
is the train station is right at the airport. So they knew that this train was something was wrong with it. So they notified all the airlines that they had this problem. And by the time we got to the airport, we actually had like 3 other trains right behind us because we were backing everything up.
mhm. Wait, don't back up.
So, you know, to tell you the truth, I have a really hard time making my flights in Amsterdam. I think I have missed until I came to Thailand. I missed more flights leaving Amsterdam than any time in my life put together.
Uh,
You just don't want to leave. I
yeah,
mean, I even went to Brussels one time to fly out. And then my plane in Brussels got delayed by a day. So I got back on the train and went to Rotterdam from Brussels, grabbed more weed, and went back to Brussels.
um, that's awesome. Hey, Mrs. D.
What'd you
Oh,
do today? Oh, I jumped on the train, went to Holland, picked up some hash and weed, and came back.
yeah, that's awesome. Cheers, everybody in chat. Hop on and come and hang out. I'm gonna be here for the next little while. I actually have some stuff I have to do today.
Yeah, I ended up having dinner and it ended up raining here.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up taking about a 5 hour nap.
What's up, Smash?
Hi, Smash.
What's up, D?
Hey, Smash.
Thinking of coffee?
Nice. My favorite thing.
Uh, Beautiful day out. Well, pretty nice.
Not here. It's cold and shitty.
Really? Yeah, it's actually sunny. 60 here today.
Yeah, 60. Oh,
I wish I had
man.
Captain 420's weather right now.
Yeah, but that's not fair. He's in a tropical fucking forest.
So, I don't mind.
I'm not actually in a forest. There's a lot of farming around me. And yeah, it's 75 degrees right now at 2:30 in the morning.
I set up all my fishing poles and stuff. Going to get my fishing license so I can go go fishing without a problem. I always thought that when you get your license, that it's a year from when you get it, but it's not. It's just like a calendar year is what they.
Calendar year.
Yeah. I always thought it was when you bought it, you get a year from the date, but that's not it at all.
And that's what
It'd be
got
nice
me
if it
here
was,
in
but no.
Thailand.
Yeah.
Thailand's immigration went on calendar year. And when they changed the laws in March, they changed that.
Is there a new
That
king
was the
yet?
loophole. There was a loophole that allowed me to stay here, and that was it. Was the
Is there a new
calendar
king yet?
year.
Like,
No,
what's
there
going on with
never will be.
cannabis and stuff?
The king is the king, and he really has no control over the government. And the government has not made any headway because, just like in the United States, the one side fights the other and nothing gets accomplished.
Strain Hunters just released a Thailand edition.
Yeah, and if I knew that Arjun in Greenhouse was going to enter the cup that I basically sponsored, I would have entered it because the strain I have would have beat the shit out of his King's juice. But he ended up winning first place here at the first Ganja Cup. And I think it was totally fixed and rigged.
I'm looking forward to the next episode of Strain Hunters Thailand. They're going to be
My
in
whole
Shanghai.
my garden
Yeah.
has the funky like. I go down there and I'm like sniffing around and I'm like, it kind of smells like funky almost, like water stagnant, but it's the plants. They stank. They smell good. The the papaya rum cake crusted chemo smells pretty funky. And then, which is weird, the strawberry apricot, the purple punch has like a rotten fruit smell.
A Moroccan fruit, you said?
Rotten.
Oh, okay.
Rotten.
Howdy.
Yeah, rotten almost. It's good. It smells like, well, I like it.
I've got something that has a really interesting difference. Yeah, I was just smoking the joint of it last night. Actually, I was thinking about it. Fuck's it called? Uh, Whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. It's very fruity when you smoke it, but when you smell it, it smells like basically durian. It smells fucked up. It
Oh.
smells like rotten jackfruit or something. It's really quite appalling. You smoke it, and it's so flavorfully fruity. It's really amusing. Anyway, uh,
We have
almost
some.
totally different. They're not different exactly. Like they're related. Like actually, when you smoke it, it's kind of got a jackfruit aroma to it too. But yeah, it's like rotten on the inhale, or rotten on the aroma, sweet on the inhale. That's so amusing.
We do.
Someone that
We
flowered out
do
my
have.
papaya rum cake said that it was growing and it smelled like a ripe papaya was left in a gym sock. But when he harvested it,
Oh,
he was like, dude, it actually a lot of fresh fruit and candy smells are coming through. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Did you guys see the waiting room?
I don't have access. I just joined.
Okay, there's someone in the waiting room. I don't know how to see their picture or anything, so I'm not letting them on.
I don't see anybody.
They just got let in.
Oh, not a co-host. Never mind.
I think it's North Star.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't recognize the name,
Yeah, I
and
think it is.
I'm
I don't
not
know.
gonna let anybody in that I don't recognize
North Star left.
because I'm not gonna be the one that lets the helicopter pilot on.
All right, I was trying to rename him. Did I just kick him out? No, wait, no.
And then he's back.
Oh, there he is.
So I got some seeds. The last two, Mrs. Michelangelo and
Nice.
Donatello. So we'll see if they pop. If they pop.
No shredder.
No, I
There's a
had
string.
all the turtles. And then there was a Bebop, I think, strain
Mm-hmm.
and a Shredder strain. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what exactly they were. The only one I was super interested in was Michelangelo, I think, which is Blueberry Cookies S1. So that was the one I was like the most like, oh yeah, I want, because blueberry is one of my favorite flavors out of anything. I love blueberry.
Mm-hmm. Blueberry's fire.
If you handed me lollipops and were like, you had every flavor known to man, I'd take a blue raspberry.
Now see that one I did.
Oh, it's Flora. Oh, what up, Flora?
Feedback.
So
Hey,
I
Flora.
seen Joel and I figured North Star.
Well, that'd be cool to see Joel.
You back
Was he on?
again.
Oh, come on, Flora.
All right. Was he on here like a week or two ago?
What's that?
Was
Yeah.
Joel on here like a week or two ago?
Fuck, I can't hear you people. Say it again.
Yeah, Joel was here last week and he showed up on the other last week before that too.
Yeah, I think it was just him. Oh, there he is, right there.
There's no
Yeah,
Star.
I'm moving outside, trying to get more signal here because keeps kicking me
I
off.
thought I thought I was going crazy for a second. There we go. Right on. What's
Me
going
too,
on,
'cause
gentlemen?
I'm gonna move outside here.
I seen Joel pop up
Trying
and
to
I was
bounce my
like,
coffee so I don't spill it.
what the fuck? And then I seen Flora's picture. I was like, Flora's name's not Joel. What the hell?
You
There
guys
we
have
go.
met. Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys have met before. Flora, you had Joel on your show, right?
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah. Right on. How you been, Flora?
I'm doing all right. It's actually need to reach out to Joel. Actually, I was gonna do a little show that I had to do some jury duty bullshit. Kind of sidetracked. That's like the worst shit in the world. Like I wish I
You
could.
say you had to do jury duty?
Yeah, I wish I could unregister the vote to do that. Is there a way to unregister?
I don't know.
Well, when I got picked for jury duty one
It's
time, and
easy.
fortunately enough, though, I was out of the province. I was in a totally different province, so they let me off. So I don't know if it's the same if it's a different state.
You know, I'm probably the only guy, I guess, that doesn't try to avoid jury duty. And my logic is I don't want jerk offs. If I ever have a jury, I don't want to have just jerk offs on it that couldn't avoid jury duty, right? I want normal people. So basically, like, I always assume, like, all right, somebody's got to not avoid it, right?
Well,
I eliminate myself.
I wasn't avoiding it.
Eliminated myself by saying I cannot be impartial. Whoever's here is guilty as far as I'm concerned. You wouldn't have had your ass here in the first place. And they're like, oh, well, you can go then. I'm like, thank you. Bye.
Hang them by the neck until dead. I don't care what it is.
Well, your
Jaywalking.
ass is in court. You probably did something wrong. You wouldn't be here in the first place. I already think you're guilty. And they're like, oh, well. I'm like, well, exactly.
Exactly. I've been called twice. Haven't gone either time. I asked them though, I said, is it a cannabis related charge? And they said no. And I said, then I'll be impartial. I'll be a partial person. They're going to be guilty. Now, if they would have said it was cannabis, I would have went and said, nope, innocent.
So the way you get jury duty is by, I think the people that have signed up to vote are automatically entered to be
Yeah,
in jury duty.
that,
Yeah. The
that's
voter
how
log.
it is.
Yep, that's why I was asking if I could unregister to vote. But I like being able to vote, so it's kind of a messed up.
Yeah. You just have to. You have to when you call in for California, you can give them like hardship, all that kind of bullshit, and try to get out of it.
Well, you just
I had
ask
to
them,
call
well,
in.
what,
I was being called.
what, you can just call up and say, well, you know, I'm white supremacist.
Yeah.
And there you go. And there you go. You don't have to go.
Anything really controversial, they don't want your ass there. So you can say anything like that, and they'll be like, Well, either they'll have you come in still, then if you say it again while you're at court, then one of the lawyers for either side is going to kick you out more than likely. They're not going to.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, the one time I wanted to be on jury duty when I was working at a restaurant, I was like, I'm going to get a week off of work paid. This was great. I worked at the casino, so I was going to get paid still for not being at work. And I went in. It was a drunk driving charge where an old guy drove his car into the VFW building after leaving because he was half passed out in his car. And I got on the jury. I'm like, all right, I'll be out of work for a whole week here. I'll still get paid for it. And then we sat around all freaking day. They were negotiating behind the scenes, and at the end of the day, so we struck a deal. Your time for jury is done, and we're off. The case is already closed. So I'm like, all right, well, I got 1 day's pay, but
Yeah, it wasn't like OJ.
nah.
Look at him.
all the
2
lawyers
months.
want to ask everybody a question, and
Hey, that's the lucky stabbing cat.
What are you guys
the
puffing
floor
on?
nugs.
Yeah.
I'm going to set for next week. Excuse me. Do a show next week then, maybe?
Yeah, probably next week.
Yeah,
Next week. When did I puffing on? I have no idea. Fuck, I think this was wedding cake or something. It's one of these all-in-ones.
You guys in the land of gas. I can't wait to get back to it.
Especially the West Coast in Canada. It's like there's no shortage ever. All year round, everything's available. It's kind of nice.
Everybody always Flora and North Star both. I was just thinking kind of what I heard, because I can't hear very well. I should have brought my fucking headphones and I just forgot. Anyway, I thought that Captain was talking about he can't wait to start growing. He probably said something else. That's how badly I can hear here. But anyway, there's like cars passing by and shit. I was thinking to myself, everybody always asks like what your desert island weed would be if you got stuck somewhere. But let's say the opposite. Let's say you just got back from a long trip or from fucking jail or from a desert island. What would be the first thing that you grew?
The first thing I would grow would be seed if my cut of Death Star was still around.
Well, that's fair.
I wouldn't have to wait to grow something. I hope I have a jar waiting for me when I got off the island so I could smoke something right away.
Yeah. But no, that happened to me. I came back from being stuck here in COVID, and I got back, it was like 3 years later. And within a month and a half, I had 2.5 pounds of weed in front of me because all this stuff came out. And I was like a kid in a candy store. Okay, let me try this. Let me try this. And I don't buy a gram or a couple grams or 7 grams. I buy them by the ounce. So I got ounces and I ended up with like 2.5 pounds in 2 months. So yeah, I was like a kid in a candy store when I got back, and it was like, let me try this, let me try that, let me
What
try
would you?
this.
What would be the first thing you ate? Like
A
if you got
steak,
stranded
a
and
steak,
you came off of like, or you got out of jail. What are you cooking, or what are you going to get?
steak, steak,
Very nice.
red meat, red meat.
Meat.
Chocolate. I'm a chocoholic. I gotta have my.
Oh
I think
yeah,
I'd go with chicken piccata and gnocchis
Oh yeah.
from my favorite restaurant.
no, I'm getting a steak just like when I get home from Thailand. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna go up to the grocery store and I'm gonna buy me 3 nice ribeyes.
Oh,
Nothing like that USDA meat, huh?
Yeah, but see where I'm at, I can go out and buy it right off the farm because we have a local firefighter that's also a butcher and a farmer. So he raises his own cattle, he butchers them, and he's got a little shop.
I honestly like
how are you
buying
today?
like buying a half cow or like a whole cow, splitting it with someone, like pretend like me and Flora we're gonna go throw down and we each got half a cow. Half a cow of meat is a lot of food. People
Yeah, you
don't
need
realize.
a big freezer too.
Yeah, you gotta have one of those deep freezers.
That's what we used to do because my uncle's was a farmer, a cattle farmer, and we used to always buy half cow off him every so often.
Every year.
Hey, we're
Yeah.
offending the vegan audience right now. Just
Sorry,
Yeah.
we're doing a pig roast this year here at my house.
I
Oh
like.
man.
I don't know if I want to do a pig roast above ground and like do the actual like roast or do like the
Hawaiian style in the ground.
yeah
Yeah.
exactly the whole.
I think that's probably the best way if you know how to do that. I have no idea how to do that.
Yeah, neither
I
do I. There you go.
A lot
Fly
more.
D in,
But
and D could
yeah.
be your pit master.
Mm.
Hey Joel, do you ever see Granddaddy Purple anymore?
ever see what?
Granddaddy Purple, is it around anymore?
I don't get out to the shops or anything around here, so I haven't seen if they have it or not. But I haven't seen anybody around here just growing it or
No.
anything for sure.
I've seen it in shops, but that's about it. And that's take that with a grain of salt because they could have called anything Granddaddy Purple. I bet.
It's chunky and purple, so they call it that because it might sell.
That was the moment. Then.
We had an argument at the shop. We went through 150 grams of this stuff called Triple G. We went through it in 6 days. And I was like, order more of this. And he's like, we just ordered 150 grams. I said, yeah, but it sold out in 6 days. He says, well, I want to carry new stuff. I said, call it 3G instead of Triple G. They'll never know the difference. It
Oh,
sells. Sell it.
yeah, I'm not a fan of those name changes like that, but
I mean, if you're not gonna like, if you're gonna take a bud that's like a gelato and call it a sour diesel, I'm not with. But if you have a gelato bud and you're like, oh, this is fucking mint gelato or something stupid, I'd be like, all right, whatever.
mm, still deceptive.
Um, I don't like when people name their strains with the male first.
That's
It confuses.
inexpensive.
and experience. Exactly.
Because like Wilson Otter Pop is Otter Pop to Wilson, I think. And there's been many strains like that, that like you read the name and you look at the cross and it's the male first. And I'm like, how does that make any sense?
Doesn't.
No, they just screwed up.
Yeah, it's one of those form over function things. Yeah, you're right. Basically, you get the because anybody that actually, how do I put this? Nobody that cares really gives a shit about the name, but anybody that cares is going to be confused by the name. So that's kind of a double fuck you, honestly. The audience gets misled without realizing it, and people who do give a shit get misled too. It shows a little bit of dishonesty, honestly, in my view. You know.
I agree. I don't it's just something that's a pet peeve of mine.
Hey, the name was called Triple G, so three G's
That's
isn't
totally
really.
fine.
That's just like an abbreviation.
Yeah,
I think.
the third G or something.
Now
If
that would be
sold
totally
out,
different.
you change the name. People will come back looking for that name again. If it sold that quick, they want to buy more of it. I would think.
Yeah. Why would you change it?
As well.
I was just thinking too, like there's such a low bar to have integrity in these things, right? And you break that first rule of like just changing the name or not respecting the name. That shows a real lack of integrity with the kind of concept of breeding and growing and stuff. It's a little thing, but I feel like it says a lot. I don't know, maybe I'm over interpreting it, but I feel like when you respect something, you'll respect its name, you know?
Well, once Thailand really understands what Afghani and Pakistani weeds are like, I don't think they really care. It's weed to them.
It still should still carry the correct nomenclature though.
It's not the proper nomenclature, dude. No, seriously though, tobacco people, beer people, even with their different barleys and stuff, they take or their yeasts, their hops, they take really uh, uh, great care, honestly. And beers these days, craft brews, a lot of times they'll tell you, especially in Oregon with the microbrews, they'll tell you which hop was used. Sometimes they'll tell you even which farm it was used. It depends on which beer you get it from. Sometimes they're that nerdy. I was talking about pipe tobacco. I was going to talk about pipe tobacco yesterday with Pedro. There's a few companies. Cornell and Deal is one of them that literally on the back usually tells you on the back of the can. They'll tell you exactly what the blend was. They might not tell you the proportion because that's their call, but sometimes they do tell you. But they'll tell you the exact tobacco, including the seed type. It'll be like Kentucky Dark Fired 2716, whatever the fuck. I don't know them, but it'll tell you if you do know them, you'd be able to go pick them off of a shelf. And I think that shows tremendous respect basically for the product, you know. And so, for example, the beer, if you know exactly which hop was used, exactly which yeast was used, et cetera, it really shows that you gave a shit about the whole process and were willing to kind of pass on that pride to the customer. And then the customer who gives a shit too, they can kind of, you know, or if they don't know the beer and they start to drink beer with different hops, they can start to learn which hops they like. However, the relationship develops, I think it shows a tremendous respect for the product. You get the same kind of thing with wine. They don't call Chardonnay some fucking random green grapes. Like it's a very they have very specific types and styles. So when you have the weed people basically just kind of cavalierly changing names and stuff, it really tells me that money is their first and only concern. It's not as if wine people or beer people are altruists and are not in it for wine, but are not in it for the money, but they're basically also in it for the respect of the product too. So I don't know. Again, it's a little thing, but I think it says a lot about the fundamental process of that person. You know, if they just change the name of a clone, if they just change the name of the flower just to suit the market, that really shows that they're just grabbing cash. They could be selling anything. They don't care if it's weed or not.
Questionable ethics, for sure.
Hey, I'm still smoking the weed. I kept a 3.5 gram bud of it.
Right. Right on.
That was some of the best $1.10 weed I bought in a long time.
There was a lot of like at the 420 event I went to. There was you could buy weed all the way from like $60 an eighth for some light depth, all the way up to like I seen 150, 175. So there was many different tiers of like, and then even I was looking at some of the light depth stuff, and I'm not gonna lie, it didn't look bad. I bet you if you put it in a pack, you wouldn't really even know it was light depth.
To tell you the truth, if they were to put a 40% shade cloth over their greenhouses here in Thailand, it would look like Northern Cali weed.
There's a lot of the inscrutiny that happens with the California bud getting transferred to other markets. Let's say they'll take the light depth and then it'll look good enough, and then they'll market it as something else. Like that's a pretty common thing.
Yeah, they indoor.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, here in Thailand, you have to ask them greenhouse or in a room because they'll say indoor, meaning greenhouse,
Yeah.
because it's indoors to them.
Yeah, because you got to open a door to get in there.
Exactly.
It happens here. When I first
So-
moved, the first times I vended light depth stuff, and people were like, "Well, it looks good enough. I can sell for indoor." I'm like, "But it's not indoor." I said, "It's in a greenhouse," and they're like, "Well, it's not outside, right?" I'm like, "Well, it's under the sun, yeah." And they're like, "Well, it's closed. It's enclosed." I'm like, "Yeah, the filtered greenhouse, but it's still under the sun, sun grown, not light grown." They're like, "Well, we can still call it indoor." Normally,
Yeah.
pay for indoor then. Fucking A.
So what would grow tent be called then? Indoor?
Indoor.
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 Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, because you're controlling the complete.
Artificial light, and you're controlling the humidity and the air in and air out.
What
Definitely
happens
indoor.
if grow tent outside? That's still
Outside?
indoor?
Well, how's it going to get light?
I think there is a point to a greenhouse when does become indoor, when like you're really controlling everything. Like you got a heater in there, and you got the like you got extra lights in there. I think it kind of becomes indoor at one point or another.
That is one thing I've been seeing here in Thailand are the not open roofs, but the clear roofs they're building now. And they're just adding supplemental light to them.
If I ever built like if I ever built like my own house, I'd have a room with those solar tunnels that go to the roof and they direct like, natural light indoors. I'd put a bunch of those in a room for if I was like gardening in there. Try to get as much light as possible from the outside. Those solar tubes are pretty cool too.
They work really good.
I'm waiting
wonder
for
how much
my
light they
parents
actually
to
bring in.
die. They bring in a lot of light.
Loads of light with those things.
But my mom bought a house that the garage is literally, you could fit two of her houses in the garage.
That's like my buddy's house.
She could pull a tour bus into the garage and stack one on top of one. I mean,
We've had a
the
full
top of
concert
the
with my
roof
buddy.
back there is like 38 feet tall. So I can grow Thai in Ohio. I've got the room.
All right, I got a water. You guys want to check out the plants?
No.
Oh, fuck you too then. I'm just kidding.
Of course we do.
Gotta go cut clones. We were busy last week. I didn't get a chance to cut any, so I'll see everyone next week. I'm out of here. I gotta catch back up.
Cheers, Joel. Good to see you.
Take it easy.
Thanks for stopping by.
I'm stuck by myself and talk to my cats all day long. I get enough of that.
Peace. I gotta take off too. I got a 2 o'clock appointment somewhere, so I will.
Right on, Flora. Well, good to
See you.
see you anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably. What's the next show? Saturday.
Yes, sir.
I think so. That's right. It'll
All right.
be a takeover for sure. Yeah, man.
Ah.
Try to tune in Saturday, and we'll talk about more creative content.
Sweet. Later, Flora.
Kind of trying to get a bunch of stuff ready right now, so we're heading somewhere else. All right, take care.
That's okay. See you, buddy.
Laura, have a good day.
There, North Star.
North Star.
Well,
I can't get my damn thing to turn off. My phone glitched out on me or
It's
something.
stuck with us.
can I kick you out? I don't
Shut
know. Oh, if
the
I kick you out, it'll ban you. Shit.
Yeah.
So this is the papaya rum cake across the Chem 91 Calio.
Well, I could stop your video.
Nice, Smash. You're no, I can't. I can't pin them.
It's all right. Oh wait. I think Flora. Are you still there? No, he looks frozen. Oh, there goes Flora.
both of them look frozen.
Yeah, North Star.
There we go.
We're really high.
Fume, can you spotlight me real quick?
You'd think I could, but for some reason I can't. There we go.
Firework cake.
This is the papaya rum cake across the
Nice.
Chem 91 Calio.
Wow.
Good looking plant.
This is the apple fritter across the Chem 91 Calio.
Fancy.
I do think this plant got seeded.
Uh-oh.
When I had the herm, it was right next to it, and it's probably the lowest plant. It was the lowest plant, so the herm was on the bottom of the plant, and I think this would have got the full brunt of the herm pop or the pollen sac popping. But this is strawberry apricot to purple punch.
Nice. That sounds good.
Then Wilson otter pop. Over here, this is white wedding.
Sweet.
Super frosty. Couple auto flowers over in the corner, planted the grapes auto flowers in little 3 gallons. And then the last plant, these is Chem Dug across the Chem 91 Calio.
Right on.
Looking good.
Yeah, everything's doing pretty good. I have a whole bunch of plants started. Whenever I decide to not be lazy, I'll go get another bag of soil because all my soil is being used right now. And I'm gonna uppot them into 5. Well, I might do 7 gallons, uppot them from 3 to 7, and I just put them in the flower tent. I'm probably gonna top them tomorrow, give them 2 weeks, and then they're gonna get shifted in here. Then I have 4 blueberry kush seeds just started. Then I started the Michelangelo and Donatello Funny, the chem dog plant's the tallest one in the garden. Everything else stayed pretty uniform. Even that critical kush was everything was right around the same size.
Really?
Oh, I was looking at the Wilson Otter Pop the other day, and there's like dark purple pistils.
Mm-hmm.
Like throughout it, you'll be looking at it, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh shit, that pistol's kind of dark," and it looks like it's like dark purple almost.
Right on.
Water real quick. Looks good. I'm happy with like if anyone remembers what the plants looked like after I came back from Vegas. These look great.
Yeah, a lot better. Well, ladies and gerbils, I'm thinking about calling it maybe. My battery is running down pretty fast here. Unless someone wants to take it over. I don't know if Bud wants to hop on or something. You guys can keep chatting. But otherwise, I think I might call it here in a couple minutes. What do you guys figure?
It's up to you, man. I'm just chilling.
Sweet. Well,
Ugh. I need the. Oh, did we talk about my electric bill?
oh, how it
No.
went up quite a bit. You
So-
briefly mentioned it yesterday.
So the months I stopped growing, I kept track of the electric bill, and from the last month to this month, I've completely doubled the house consumption when I opened up.
Well, I mean, that sounds shocking, but I mean, like, how much was the house consumption? Do you guys have a lot of LEDs? Do you cook mostly with gas, for example? Then your house electrical bill might not be all that much. I would want to know more in pure dollar terms how much your electrical was. And then, the question becomes, is it worth it economically for you? Because just because the value goes up tremendously doesn't mean anything. Does it represent a waste of price for you? Does it, in other words, can you not generate enough weed that's good enough that would offset that value, or can you very easily offset that weed? For example, Bud, look at Bud Kilowatt. I mean, I don't even want to know what his electrical bill is. It's probably pretty fucking substantial. It would probably be enough to choke you to death right on the spot if you heard how much it was per month, and yet he's able to use that to produce quite a bit of economic value, right? So the electrical becomes an operating cost basically. And so if you're serious about it, and I think not enough people talk about this, like it's basically just one of your operating expenses. And even if it's for your personal medical use, that is a cost in life. Nothing in this life is free. It's really kind of unfortunate that nothing is free, but the reality of it that we live with is even a tomato that you get at the grocery store, even a pound of rice that you need to live costs you money at the grocery store. Same thing with weed. You don't need weed to live, maybe, but you need weed to live better. And so if it costs you $200 in electricity every month, well, you got to figure out, okay, for how many months it took me to grow something to harvest. It cost me X amount of money in time, in rent for the space. If you own the space, it's still property taxes, in electricity, in fertilizer expenses, in water, on and on and on. You add up all those costs, and if it's less than the cost of the product you created, then you're doing okay. But if it's more than the cost of the product, then you basically have to figure out if it's worth it. You know what I mean? So not enough people think about that, I think.
So Bud Kilowatts. So Bud Kilowatts' monthly bill is $6,500 a month.
How much do you say?
6,500.
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? It's enough to choke a freaking dead body awake. Yeah, but it has to probably pay for itself, because otherwise he wouldn't be doing it. He's not going to be just he doesn't fuck, I don't know. He's not a philanthropist to PG&E. He's like, oh, PG&E needs more money. Not a fucking chance, So it's one of those things in life.
This is
I
D
wanna
with
do
Kill.
solar, but the shitty part is I've been calling around to solar companies, and one of the one of the selling points of this house when we bought it was that it had a metal roof, and they got like 25-year warranties and stuff. And a lot of the solar companies won't even touch it. They don't want to work with the metal roofing, which, whatever.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh, to say that you already have a metal roof and the solar companies don't want to install over that.
You know,
Interesting.
they don't want to fuck with it.
Huh. What is it? Because of electrical currents or something, or because they don't want to drill? Oh, they probably don't want to drill into the metal.
Lightning.
That's what it is.
Lightning strikes.
It's harder to work with than the traditional tiling. So,
I wonder, yeah, if anybody in the chat knows why exactly. I'm trying to visualize it, and I'm like, well, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I can't figure out exactly why. Because on the one hand, you'd have to drill into the metal, but at the same time, if it's a tile roof or what do they call it, a tar roof or anything else, you're still going to have to probably drill into the roof on some level and then seal it with boots and stuff. So I'm trying to figure out what the fundamental difference is. Anyway,
I don't know. It sucks. So
Deal with.
I don't know. If I can do something to bring it down at least a little bit, it's really a lot. Like $900 in a month is a lot for just a house.
900 for your electricity, that is a lot. Yeah, that is quite a lot. So you're basically, your grow electrical, you think, costs $400 or $500 a month?
Yeah, something like that.
Wow. Huh. Yeah, that's crazy.
Which,
Yeah, Mrs.
I
D
mean,
was
if it literally costs that much, I don't know. Like, other
So-
people will have to talk about it maybe next show or something. But if it literally costs that much, I could see it being difficult for someone to really make the numbers make sense. Basically, even as a home grower indoors, it's challenging because to realistically grow more than 1 pound per 4x4, let's say, you have to be a pretty decent grower. Like, even to get a pound per 4x4 takes a while before you really get there as a newer grower. So let's say you're not an expert and it costs you $400 a month for a 4x4 or pretty close to it, with the veg and everything else to basically grow wheat. That basically means that, oh my goodness, you're talking about at least $1,000. Well, these days it's really, at least in Oregon, I don't know about in Massachusetts, you can get a pound of wheat for less than $1,000. I promise you. So yeah, I don't know. It's a tough situation at that point, huh?
So in the current market, Bud Kilowatts saying in the current market, the first 10 pounds a month goes to overhead. So we have to throw 10 pounds already, just for bills and shit.
Oh,
Yeah, I believe it.
That's crazy.
I'm at the stage right now where I'm trying to figure out anything I can do to lower it. I'm probably going to end up going with a gas heater next winter because the heater is a big part of it because the heater is 1,500 watts by itself.
Yeah, the heater. We've said this before on the show. The heater basically is kind of wasted electricity essentially because you're paying for it, but you're not getting anything out the other end. If you could work on insulating the space, if you could work on making the space smaller so that you could heat less space, if you can work on, I've said this before, but this may not be an option, alternating timing on half the grow on one time, half the grow on the other with two big lights, that might assist the situation. Because goddamn, anything you could do to actually get usable weight for the money you're spending would be something beneficial.
So yeah, I'm probably gonna end up with like either a diesel or propane heater. Pay a plumber to come over.
I don't
Maybe
think diesel's gonna save you any money. Propane maybe, but even then, propane's not that cheap, honestly.
cheaper than my electric.
And start the game.
And with like once you get into like a propane heater, it's bigger, so it should be kicking on and off. I shouldn't be using it as much.
Also, though, if you have a propane heater in the basement, you're going to have an exhaust and all kinds of CO2 sensors and everything else, carbon monoxide sensors, rather. Well, probably also CO2 sensor. Pardon?
So propane is not advisable to use in house because it leaves gas, expended gas that does leak
Oh,
out
yeah.
will leak and will go say into another corner of the house. And it'll start gathering there. And then as soon as there's a massive flame, boom.
Yeah, that's
So
not
when
good.
running now, what's that other fuel? It's like an oil. Shit, not diesel, but oil furnace.
Kerosene?
Oil furnace is a good way. If you
Yeah,
have
but
an oil
oil
furnace.
furnace, you have to put in a whole, yeah, that's a lot. The propane or diesel, at least I can,
Yeah, but it won't explode.
yeah, but nowadays the propane heaters are very efficient. The new ones are really nice. So I have a window in the grow already. I could take the window out, put a board up, and just put exhaust, like put an exhaust. I also have where we used to have a pellet stove, not a pellet stove, like a wood stove. There's a tunnel. I was looking at a pellet stove too. Put it in the corner, um, or back buy a little pellet stove and put it back in the corner over there. So I have places to exhaust and stuff. If I can get rid of a heater or get rid of that chunk on the electrical, I should be good. I got to see what the dehumidifier. Like, well, the good thing with
Cheers.
the dehumidifier is the dehumidifier is going to be in the grow room now. It's not going to be conditioning the whole out lung room, like whole basement. So it should kick on and off way more that it's going to be in a lot smaller space.
Will help some. Anyway, happy 420, folks. Probably time to start bouncing from this show because it's difficult for me to hear anything. So, oh, and I'm down to 36%. All right, awesome. So anyway, we'll talk about this and many more things next time. It's always a whatever, a challenge basically to make sense, whether you're doing it commercially, medically, any other ways, honestly, recreationally, whatever you're doing. It's always a challenge to find the dollars and cents to do this thing that we do. Most of us are a little bit probably touched in the head for doing it, even when it does make financial sense. Probably the best of circumstances, we're still touched in the head. I think probably most of you are nodding. But anyway, regardless of whether we are touched in the head or not, we'll see each other next time. He's certainly nodding. Well, he's also a big fan of brains, so he's just like thinking of all the brains right there. He's like, oh, look at all those nodding brains. Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gerbils, don't forget to visit my website, fumidoro.com, for merch of all types and, of course, genetic preservation kits of the finest possible quality, ladies and gerbils. By the way, before the show, I smoked a joint of it was going to be released, but I don't know. I don't think I have enough seeds of it, so it might be one of my private lines. But I'm really quite enjoying it. It was such a great high. I'm still kind of high from it. Basically, it was Jack the Ripper to the Coot special. Fuck, what an amazing high. Anyway, listening to music and stuff, I was just rocking out. Basically, anyway, it was pretty fun times. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, until we meet again, take over this Saturday, right, D?
Definitely.
Sweet, right on. So we'll see each other, ladies and gerbils, almost the same time, almost the same place. I hope I'll be able to start the show because I might be traveling, but anyway, we'll figure something out. What were you gonna say, Smashed?
Everyone be safe. I hope everyone has a great day. Yeah.
Later, buddy. Actually, I forgot to say goodbye to everybody. Go for it, Smashed, or if that was it, go for it.
Yeah,
bud.
yeah. Peace. I hope everyone has a great day.
Sweet. Go for it, Captain.
Hope everybody out in chat had another wonderful safety meeting. Stay safe, stay lifted. See you on Saturday. Peace.
Yeah, man. Cheers, Cap. D, go for it.
Ladies and germs, like Premier says, thanks for tuning in. Thanks to all you lurkers and people in the background smoking a joint, doing some gardening, getting your car serviced. Who knows? Although, like Primador said, Saturday, same bat time, same bat channel, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 7 o'clock Pacific, with the possibility, with the possibility of a pre-show. Everybody, have a good rest of the week. Peace out.
Later, Dave. Good to see you.
You too, buddy.
I can't say it much better than that, ladies and gerbils. Thanks very much for hanging with us. Hope you guys have enjoyed some good daytime puffing, and hope you checked the condition that you checked your condition that your condition was in, and it was a good condition. So, or maybe now it's a better condition after smoking a couple of dubs. See you guys next time. Puff something wonderful. Again, don't forget to visit fumidoro.com and be kind, be decent, be gentle. Don't be fucking pricks, dicks, or lunatics. Adios, ladies and gerbils. Until we meet again. Everybody in chat, I can't see you, but thanks very much for joining us. Cheers, everybody. I'm sure you all know who you are. If you don't, well, honestly, that's a problem. So you should probably get that checked. Later, everybody. Adios. Thanks for hanging. And